Breaking news out of Las Vegas. The Raiders just made a roster move that could change everything before training camp, and hardly anyone's talking about it. Why would the team suddenly release a quarterback with camp just around the corner? What's the real reason behind it? Is this a signal that a major free agency signing or trade is on the horizon? Stay locked in, Raider Nation, because we're diving deep into this developing situation. Raider Nation, we've got breaking news straight from Henderson. The Las Vegas Raiders have officially waived quarterback Carter Bradley, and this move might not be as small as it seems. Bradley was battling for the QB3 spot behind Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew, but now he's gone. And just like that, a roster spot is open right before training camp. Before we dig into what this move could mean, take a second to support the channel. Subscribe for non-stop Raiders updates, smash that like button, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss breaking news. Alright, let's get into the real reason behind this sudden decision. The Raiders didn't release Carter Bradley just to tidy up the depth chart. This feels calculated, purposeful, strategic. Why? Because this isn't just about a QB3 spot. It's about who could be coming in next. Whether it's a free agent, a surprise trade, or even a position upgrade somewhere else, this move just opened the door. Teams don't just make sudden roster cuts this close to camp, unless something's brewing behind the scenes. And Raider Nation, I think something big is coming. Let's get one thing clear, the Raiders didn't cut Carter Bradley for nothing. That move screams one thing, they're clearing space for someone else. With over $32.8 million in cap space, Las Vegas has the cash to make a real move, not just a depth signing, but a legit difference maker. So, who could they be targeting? Let's start at the bottom of a very interesting list, but one name that still makes sense is Quandre Diggs. The former Seahawks safety may not be in his prime, but his connection to Pete Carroll and familiarity with that defensive philosophy can't be ignored. With Antonio Pierce trying to shape this defense into a fast, physical unit, a veteran like Diggs could help anchor the back end. Right now, the Raiders' safety room looks thin. Sure, some fans believe in Isaiah Polam, and while he's got potential, trusting him to lead the defense at free safety in year 3. That's a gamble. Adding someone like Diggs isn't about replacing Polam, it's about adding insurance, leadership, and depth. You need multiple dependable safeties in today's NFL, and right now Las Vegas doesn't have that. Bottom line, if the Raiders want to avoid another year of being torched over the top, they've got to address this unit, and Quandre Diggs could be the start of that solution. And Raider Nation, we're just getting started. The next few names? Even more intriguing. Shall we continue? Now here's a question that Raider Nation needs to answer. What position worries you the most heading into 2025? Is it the safeties? The linebackers? The defensive line? Because right now there are clear gaps and the Raiders might already be working to plug them. Let's talk about a potential target who fits a very specific need. Mike Hilton, the veteran cornerback from the Cincinnati Bengals. He's not your every down outside corner, and that's exactly the point. Hilton is a true nickelback specialist, and the Raiders, they badly need one. Right now, Darnay Holmes is slotted in that nickel role, but the consistency just hasn't been there. And yes, the Raiders added names like Eric Stokes and Damarian Richardson and drafted TJ Tampa, but those guys are all better suited on the outside. That leaves the middle of the field exposed, and against teams who live on short crossers and slot fades, that's where games are won or lost. Mike Hilton would bring grit, experience, and shutdown ability inside the numbers, and give Patrick Graham a reliable piece to round out his secondary. But let's shift the focus to something bigger, literally. At number 3, another name has been floated, Jadeveon Clowney. Now some fans might be asking, do we really need another defensive end? Fair question. But here's the key, Clowney's arrival would allow you to finally move Tyree Wilson inside, where his size and power could wreak havoc at defensive tackle. It's a move many analysts, and let's be honest, fans too, have been calling for. Clowney still plays with burst and attitude. Plug him in on the edge, let Max Crosby keep doing his thing, and now you've got a line with real versatility and depth. This isn't about signing big names, it's about unlocking your current talent. And right now, Wilson might shine brightest once he's moved inside. The Raiders have options. The question is, will they make the bold move now? Shall we look at what comes next? Imagine this front four: Max Crosby, Malcolm Koonce, Adam Butler, Tyree Wilson inside. Now add Jadeveon Clowney to that mix on the edge. That's not just a defensive line. That's a problem for opposing quarterbacks. Let's be real, the Raiders didn't take Tyree Wilson in the top 10 just to keep him buried behind Crosby and Koonce. His size, length, and raw explosiveness scream interior disruptor. He has the tools, now it's about unlocking them. By shifting Wilson inside and giving him a clearer role at defensive tackle, you simplify his development. No more being stuck between positions, no more hesitation. And bringing in a proven vet like Clowney, that does two things. It frees up Wilson and it raises the floor of this entire front seven. Now let's move on to a name that's somehow still floating in free agency. Julian Blackman, the 26-year-old safety out of Indianapolis. This one's a mystery. Last season, 86 tackles, 3 interceptions, 4 pass breakups, and that was in a Colts defense that relied heavily on him to be the enforcer on the back end. So why is he unsigned? Maybe it's contract expectations. Maybe teams are hesitant on fit. But for the Raiders, who still need help at safety, this is the kind of opportunity you jump on. He's young, he's productive, he plays fast, he hits hard. And most importantly, he's available. If the Raiders want to build a defense that can fly around, force turnovers, and close out tight games, adding a player like Blackman could be the quiet move that changes everything. Only one name left on this list, and trust me, it's a big one. Let's circle back for a moment. If the Raiders were to land Julian Blackman, he wouldn't just add depth. He would walk in and take over the starting free safety job. Period. Let's not overthink this. Justin Simmons to the Raiders makes too much sense. The former Broncos star is everything this defense needs. A veteran leader, a proven playmaker, a true student of the AFC West. He's not just a name, he's a difference maker. Even in what some called a down year, Simmons put up 7 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, and held quarterbacks to a passer rating under 87 when targeted. That's not average, that's impact football. And when you zoom out and look at the last 4 seasons, this guy has been one of the most consistent ball hawks in the league. He's never had fewer than 2 picks in a season, never. You want turnovers? You want momentum-shifting plays? Justin Simmons brings exactly that. He knows how to read quarterbacks. He knows the division. And he knows how to command a secondary, something the Raiders desperately need if they want to keep up with the high-powered offenses in the AFC. For a team that's got money to spend and a clear hole at safety, this one's a no-brainer. Bring Simmons to Vegas. Let him wear silver and black. Let him lead. If the Raiders want to turn this defense into a force, this is the move that puts them over the top. And Raider Nation, if Simmons walks through those doors, you'll feel the shift in energy across the league. Ask ChatGPT. At just 26 years old, he's entering the prime of his career. And whether he wants a long-term contract or a 1-year prove-it deal, Las Vegas should be calling him yesterday. It's a low-risk, high-reward scenario. If he shines, you found a long-term anchor in your secondary. If he doesn't, you didn't commit big money and you still added competition. This is the type of smart, forward-thinking move that playoff teams make. But Blackman's not the only option on the radar. There are honorable mentions floating in the shadows, names that could step in if the timing is right. Jordan Whitehead, a physical defensive back who could thrive under Antonio Pierce's aggressive mindset. Rasul Douglas, a proven corner with size, ball skills, and starting experience. Even veteran QB options like Devin Gilmore, just in case the front office wants to carry a third signal caller. One intriguing wild card, Jamal Dean, a cornerback currently with the Buccaneers. If Tampa cuts him, don't be surprised if Vegas is first in line. There are ties to the current staff, and the scheme fit is obvious. Then there's the elephant in the room. Keenan Allen. Yes, that Keenan Allen has been whispered in rumors. But with young receivers like DJ Turner, Trey Tucker, and Javon Baker flashing early, that move feels less likely. So where does all this lead? Right to the top free agent target. The one name that, if signed, would make headlines across the NFL. Coming up next, a proven leader, a game changer, a Pro Bowler. Let's talk Justin Simmons.